Picture this. You are standing in the center of a crowded room. The air is thick with laughter, music, and a dozen overlapping conversations. To the average person, this is pleasure. But to you, it is a sensory assault. Your energy depletes rapidly, not because you lack social stamina, but because your brain is processing reality at a resolution others cannot even conceive. You have spent years believing you are flawed, too sensitive, too quiet, too fragile for this loud world. But modern neuroscience offers a startlingly different verdict. You are not broken. You are simply operating on a high-resolution neural architecture, an evolutionary adaptation designed for survival, not small talk. You aren't failing to adapt to the noise. You are biologically engineered for depth. Let's deconstruct the hardware behind your silence. Part 1. The failure of the filter. Let's begin with the hardware. The competitor script posits that your brain has zero chill. While colloquially amusing, the scientific reality is far more profound. Your brain is not merely overthinking. It is suffering from a specific biological condition known as low latent inhibition. In a neurotypical brain, a structure called the thalamus acts as a ruthlessly efficient bouncer. It engages in what neuroscientists call thalamic gating. Its job is to suppress the spam the background hum of the refrigerator, the flickering fluorescent light, the trivial conversations of strangers. It deletes 90% of reality so the conscious mind can focus on the present moment. But your thalamus? It has a leak. Research from 2024 on sensory processing sensitivity, SPS, reveals that your neural gating system does not discriminate. It assigns equal priority to every incoming signal. That guy's laughter, the micro-expression of annoyance on a waiter's face. The slight drop in room temperature, your brain doesn't just notice them. It screenshots them. It processes raw data at an exhausting fidelity. fMRI scans show that when you are in a crowd, your insula and anterior cingulate cortex areas responsible for integrating sensory input with internal emotion light up like a Christmas tree. You aren't just hearing the noise. You are physically feeling the chaos in your viscera. This is not a defect. It is an evolutionary trade-off. Scientists classify this phenotype as the orchid genetic variant. While dandelions, the majority, can survive anywhere but lack sensitivity, orchids are biologically designed to wither in harsh noise, but bloom spectacularly in the right environment. You were never meant to be the soldier marching blindly into the fray. For millennia, you were the tribe's early warning system. You were the one who heard the predator when the rest of the tribe was too busy laughing around the fire. You aren't too much. You are exactly what survival required. Part 2. The anatomy of authenticity. The competitor's script argues that you don't hate people. You hate the performance. Once again, neuroscience confirms what you have intuitively felt for decades. You are not socially inept. You are, quite literally, a human lie detector who never applied for the job. This phenomenon is rooted in the interaction between two powerful brain regions, the insula and the anterior cingulate cortex, ACC. The insula is your center of empathy and interoception. It reads the subtle, unspoken currents of a room. It picks up the pheromones of anxiety, the slight tremor in a voice, the micro-expressions that vanish in milliseconds. But the ACC? The ACC is your brain's error detection system. Its primary function is to identify conflicts between expectation and reality. When you stand in a crowd of people wearing social masks, people who are smiling while screaming on the inside, your brain enters a state of crisis. Your eyes see a smile, but your insula detects distress. This mismatch triggers the ACC to fire a prediction error signal. To a neurotypical brain, this dissonance is background noise. But to your high-resolution architecture, it is a glaring red strobe light. Your brain perceives inauthenticity as a threat. It screams, "Something is wrong here." This is why small talk feels like, as the saying goes, chewing on cardboard. It isn't just boring, it is cognitively expensive. Your brain is forced to work overtime to reconcile the contradictory data, the fake smile versus the sad energy. This creates a state of cognitive dissonance that rapidly drains your glucose reserves. You are not judgmental. You are simply intolerant of incoherence. Research from Cambridge University suggests that this heightened sensitivity to emotional cues correlates with superior emotional intelligence. You crave depth not because you are snobbish, but because truth is the only signal your brain can process without burning out. You are not antisocial. You are anti-dissonance. Part 3. The neurochemical divergence. Now, let's talk about fuel. The reason you feel drained while others feel energized isn't a matter of attitude. It is a matter of neurochemistry. You and the extrovert next to you are quite literally running on different operating systems. The popular narrative and the competitor's video suggests that your dopamine system is simply uninterested. The scientific truth, however, is far more volatile. According to research on dopaminergic sensitivity, your brain does not lack dopamine. It is hypersensitive to it. For an extrovert, the brain's reward system is less sensitive. They require massive spikes of stimulation, loud music, social risk, the chaos of a crowd just to feel normal. They are chasing a dopamine high. But for you, your threshold is much lower. A crowded room pushes your dopamine levels into what neuroscientists call a supraoptimal state. What feels like a thrill to them feels like an overdose to you. Your brain is not bored. It is drowning in chemical noise. Instead, your nervous system thrives on a different neurotransmitter entirely: acetylcholine. While dopamine demands external reward, acetylcholine rewards internal focus, deep thought, and stillness. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. This is why you feel most alive when reading a book at midnight or walking alone in nature. You aren't just relaxing. You are accessing your primary power source. Furthermore, recent voxel-based morphometry studies confirm that introverted brains possess thicker gray matter in the prefrontal cortex. This is the seat of abstract thinking and complex planning. In a crowd, you aren't just standing there. Your thicker cortex is running detailed simulations, analyzing outcomes, and processing data through a long neural pathway involving the hippocampus and Broca's area. So, when you force yourself to be out there in a high dopamine environment, you are forcing a biological engine built for deep, long-haul processing to run on cheap, explosive fuel. It's not just exhausting, it is metabolically unsustainable. You aren't a broken extrovert. You are a high-performance machine running in the wrong gear. Part 4. The Open Network. Emotional Contagion. The competitor's script humorously describes you as an emotional Wi-Fi router. It's a catchy metaphor, but the biological reality is far more invasive. You are not just transmitting signals. You are being hijacked by them. This phenomenon is governed by the mirror neuron system, MNS. In a standard brain, these neurons allow for basic empathy. You see someone cry, and you understand they are sad. But for those with high sensory processing sensitivity, fMRI studies reveal that the MNS is hyperactive. When you look at a stranger, your brain doesn't just observe their state, it simulates it. If the person next to you is suppressing anxiety, your brain mirrors that neural pattern. If the couple across the room is fighting, your body releases cortisol as if you were in the argument. This is a neurological reflex known as emotional contagion. You are not too sensitive. You are porous. Imagine the metabolic cost of this. In a crowd of 300 people, your nervous system is unwittingly attempting to run a real-time simulation of 300 different emotional states simultaneously. You are processing the collective joy, the hidden grief, and the suppressed rage of an entire room. This explains the physical heaviness you feel after a social event. You haven't just been socializing. You have been carrying the emotional weight of a village. It is a profound form of intelligence, a deep, visceral data reading, but without solitude. It is a system destined for overload. Part 5. The biology of solitude. Finally, let's dismantle the biggest lie of all: that your need for solitude is a symptom of withdrawal. Society obsessed with constant connectivity pathologizes your silence. It tells you that happiness is found in the noise. But a landmark 2024 study from Cambridge University on positive solitude offers a crucial correction. For your neural architecture, aloneness is not an act of hiding. It is an act of restoration. When you step away from the crowd, your brain does not shut down. It switches gears into the default mode network, DMN. This is a massive functional network responsible for memory consolidation, self-reflection, and future planning. While the extrovert's brain is busy processing external stimuli, your brain, in the safety of silence, is synthesizing complex patterns, connecting disparate ideas, and generating the insights that others miss. You aren't doing nothing. You are performing high-level cognitive maintenance. This explains the social hangover, that feeling of needing 3 business days to recover from a single party. This isn't dramatic. It is physiological. Your body is managing allostatic load. After hours of dopamine overload and mirror neuron firing, your system is flooded with cortisol. Solitude is the only way to metabolize these stress hormones and replenish your depleted acetylcholine reserves. So, here is the verdict. You are not antisocial. You are simply a victim of evolutionary mismatch. You possess a hunter-gatherer's radar in a world of neon distractions. You have a philosopher's brain in a culture that rewards the loudest voice. Stop apologizing for your biology. The next time you decline an invitation to stay home in the quiet, know this. You are not missing out. You are tuning in. You are protecting a rare and necessary form of intelligence that the world desperately needs, but rarely understands. You are not broken. You are just built for depth.